I need to, oh, I know what I need to do. I could just stick it in there. Y'all, my look out to there. My tripod, one of the little grips that holds it on, came off. So I have to stick a piece of paper in there to take up the space. I was sitting up here, I just wanted to talk to you all for a minute while I'm doing some paper. Well, while I'm actually sitting here making lesson plans for Rising CEO Academy, I was thinking about me and my daughter. And I'm going to let you all tune in before I really get started. And it's not, I was just thinking about the differences between me and my daughters and me and my mom. And it's a generational thing. I think now we allow women, black women, that's all I've ever been my whole life, a black woman. We allow ourselves to actually, get this tripod right so I have some space. We allow ourselves to actually enjoy life. You know, when my mom was born in 1950, so she's 74. She turned 74 last week. She's brought up in a different generation, and many of them, now that I look at it, they enjoying life almost was like a bad thing. Like no one was really supposed to enjoy life. Everyone was miserable at the end of the day. Like I remember on Color Purple, Miss Celie said the reason they didn't like Suge because nobody wanted somebody being too proud and too free. It's like, why she happy? Why she comfortable in her skin? Why she can talk to any man she want to? Why she not married? Why she not tied down and miserable like we are? So I want to go on here because there's a thing going on with me and my daughter. Nothing bad. It's actually great. And I wanted to discuss that because what she's doing, I didn't even have a second thought about it. Like my daughter today, my daughter went to Phoenix. My daughter is 31, and there was an event in Phoenix that she wanted to go to. My granddaughter is 8. And so my granddaughter is 8 years old, and my daughter wanted to go to Phoenix for an event. And it never dawned on me to shun my daughter for even wanting to go to Phoenix and enjoy her life. So this morning, my daughter dropped off my grandbaby so that she can catch her early flight to Phoenix, catch the flight to Phoenix. And then I took my grandbaby to camp. And if her dad can't pick her up, because he normally picks her up on Thursday, but if he can't, I pick her up. I even told my daughter that she can spend the weekend with me if she needs to. I said, I know that she go to her dad all the time, but, you know, if he has a conflict or he has to work, it's no problem with my grandbaby staying with me. So, let me tell you, I'm going to take it back. Had I even fathomed that idea to my mom back when my daughters, because my grandbaby is 8. So had I even fixed my mouth to say, hey mama, I want to go to Phoenix and I took some time off. There's an event in Phoenix that I want to go to. Can you take Nikki and Mo to camp? And then they daddy pick them up, or I help figure it out so that somebody can keep them all weekend, or maybe you'll keep them the weekend. My mom would have thought I was crazy. She'll say, well, you have these 2 little kids and you think you have the right to go all the way to Phoenix during the middle of the week and be all the way over there while your kids are here? My mom, her mindset, and everyone in her era, my mama she'd have made me feel like I was a bad parent. for wanting to go to Phoenix and go to this event. Even though I paid for my own flight, I paid for everything, I got my own way to the airport, I did this all on my own, and all I did was ask you, hey Tammy, to take them to daycare, take them to the to camp, like my grandbaby goes to camp, take her to camp, and their dad's gonna pick them up and they're gonna stay with their dad. My mom, if I would have tried to do that and be away from my daughters, and it's only from Thursday to Sunday, my daughter comes back Sunday, her generation would have shunned me as if I was a bad mother. And what gets me is, because I don't know, I didn't know any better back then. I would have thought that thinking that way would have made me not as great of a mother. But what I realize is a lot of our parents, baby boomers, and their parents, especially black women, we were so disadvantaged that they got used to being unhappy, and the thought of even doing something that might make them generally happy. I should have brushed my little edges. That would have made them generally happy would have been frowned upon. And I know my mom would have did that. It didn't even thought to me. My daughter told me about 2 or 3 months ago. She said, I'm going to Phoenix on this such and such weekend. I got it all planned out. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. All of that kind of stuff. Hey, Shanice, I'm going to do all of that kind of stuff. And she said, Mom, will you take Camille to camp? And then her dad is going to pick her up from camp. And then she's going to spend the weekend with her dad while I'm in Phoenix. It didn't even think. I just said, yeah, no problem at all. I said, if he can't get her, I'll keep her. Me and my grandbaby is not a problem. So, I mean, I said, if he can't get her something, I'll just keep her the weekend. It's not a big old deal. But my mama would have made me feel like shit. Damn, I shouldn't have said. She'd have made me feel really bad for experiencing life while I have children. As if I should not experience life. And then another thing that I admire about my daughter is, both of them, is that they're willing to just do things. They're willing to do things that make them uncomfortable so that they can stretch themselves and go and experience life. And it would have been a bad thing if I would have discouraged Monique from going. Hey, Tammy said exactly. It would have been a bad thing because I would have been putting my mom's generational curses of being unhappy and not actually strategically living her life. And I would have put that on my daughter. Hey, Reginald, because a lot of times what happens is we have kids. We get married, we have kids, or we just have kids, and we don't live our life strategically. Now, had my daughter had 3, 4, 5 kids, of course I'd be like, no, that's just too many kids to watch. But she has one child, and the fact is she raises her daughter very, very well, and she's a great mother. And my daughter told me, look, she calling me on video chat right now. Somebody tell Monique I'm on the phone talking about her. Me from her rental car in Phoenix. I said, I'm on live talking about you. Go to live right quick. But the fact that she had her one daughter while she was at FAM, and then she strategically said, Mama, I don't know how people have a whole bunch of kids, because I wouldn't have any freedom. So she decided right now don't have any more. So that way she can go and experience life. Many of our parents, birth control was really rare. But when you live your life and it's not strategic, it ends up you not being able to experience a lot of things. my parents got caught up all the time in the hustle and bustle of work, home, kids, work, kids, home. And so the thought of going on a cruise, the thought of just doing something that's strategic that made them happy was kind of crazy to them. Like my mama, if I would have said right now, like right now, if I do it, my mama still would be looking crazy. Even though my kid's 31 and 32. But if I would have said, Mama, take her today, take him to school, and then their dad gonna pick them up, and then they're gonna be with their dad while I'm going on vacation. My mom would have just been like, you crazy? How you gonna go somewhere when you have little kids? How you gonna do this? How you gonna do that? Like it couldn't be done, and it actually could have been done. And I would have been made to be like a bad parent for actually being able to enjoy my life. You say I asked to join. What, you trying to join the live? It didn't come up. So I would have been made to feel like a bad parent for actually just enjoying my life. And I know this because the little things that I would do, my mom would be acting crazy, funny. Why you want to do that? You going to leave them right here? And this. Oh, I thought it was showing up something. And so that's why I titled this topic, I thought that's what you wanted. No, I was just wanting you to look at it so you can see that I was talking about you. This is my daughter Monique, who out of town right now. Not like nobody can come find you in Phoenix. But I saw this thing on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or something, and it was like 4 glasses, and it was muddy water. And it was like the grandmother, the mother, the daughter, and the granddaughter. Grandmother, mother. Oh, I'm getting it out. I'll just say it was 3 of them. I can't remember. It was 3. So it was like the grandmother's glass was really brown. And so that's like the generational curse. The grandmother, poured her brown glass, her brown muddy water into the mother's glass. I did not travel until my girls were out of the house. Exactly. Like Tammy said, she didn't travel till her girls were out of the house. I really didn't either. And now I realize I could have done things. If I would have done things, I would have had more experiences to actually talk to my daughters about. Because we tend to talk to them about, school and different little things, but we can't really talk to them about any experiences that we ever had. When you go through the airport, you're going to go through TSA, then you're going to go over there and this and that, that kind of stuff. When you get on a cruise, this is what you expect. Because we wait, or we were taught to wait until our children are grown to enjoy life. You get what I'm saying? And we shouldn't have to wait. We can still enjoy life. I'm not saying neglect your kids at all. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that we can still enjoy life. And don't ever allow anyone, they are 7 years apart. No, my daughters are a year and like 2 weeks. But still, like with my daughter, her one child is 8 years old. Go ahead on and enjoy your life. Camilla's a very good child. She's easy to watch, nothing hard to do, and you don't have a whole bunch of them. Now, when you have a whole bunch of kids, I'm sorry, you make that bed, you got to lay in that bed right there. Unless you like Beyonce and them and you paid like that and you can pay the nanny, that's out. But if you ain't paid like that and you done made all them babies, you just got to let stuff be. But if you haven't made a whole bunch of kids, go ahead on and enjoy life. And don't let somebody who really hasn't enjoyed their life and really don't know what enjoyment actually means dictate your happiness. That's what I mean. That should be the thing. Because I talk to my mom all the time now. Like, my mom is retired. And when we were growing up, my mom used to say, if I didn't have so many kids, I would do this and I go do that and I this. Her and daddy had 4 kids. That's on y'all having 4 kids. You could have had, hey, if they would have just had one, I'd have been there because I'm the oldest. So even if they decided to just have one, I'd have been there. I don't know about Dietrich, Tracy, and Dion. But anyway. But I said, Mom, when we were little, you used to tell us that the reason you didn't go places and don't do things is because you had kids. We're all grown. I mean, the youngest one, if I'm 50 almost, Dion is 40. The youngest one is 40 and you don't go nowhere. You have a perfectly good car, you have money in the bank, and you don't go anywhere. So you, growing up, that's part of a trauma for me when a parent tells you that the reason that they can't do things and live their life is because of you. That makes you feel bad, like you were some type of a burden. When in fact, all that was an excuse that she gave herself, that it was us that kept her back from experiencing life, when now she can go experience it and she won't. So when you tell a child that the reason I can't do this is because I got you, first of all, that makes the child feel like, damn, if it's like that, why you even have me? And then it makes the child feel like when they have kids, they can't do anything. But then time has passed now. And I mean, even the youngest one of us is 40 and you still not doing anything. Why don't you look into your traumas way back when, instead of kind of messing up somebody else's mindset? You're not doing anything because you just don't want to do anything. Because now you can do things and you don't go do anything. So that kind of messes up a person. I mean, not like bad, not like really mess me up, but it's just the fact that she told me, and the reason that I can remember stuff, I can remember things that Dion can't remember because Dion is the youngest. So I was there for everything. Dietrich can't remember some, Tracy can't remember some, and then there's Dion. So everything is trickled down because we're basically all like 3 years apart. So I remember everything, and some of that stuff that, you know, Dietrich do remember, it just trickles down. But I distinctly remember her saying, well, I can't go nowhere because I got a bunch of kids and, you know, I got to go to work and da-da-da-da-da. When in fact, you can go places now and you choose not to. So part of this is I want us to really think before we say things to our children. Before we throw negativity their way about something that may not even have to be negative. It takes us to really sit back and think before we speak. And that takes a lot of self-therapy also, to think before we say things. And like I labeled this, my mom would never, simply because I knew that would get everybody in. But what I'm saying is, my mom would never. When my daughters were like 8 and 9, if I would have wanted to go out of town, my mom would never watch them, because she would have made me feel like I was a bad parent if I wanted to go and do something that I truly, genuinely made me enjoy life. She would never allow me to feel as if I could enjoy my life on my own for a minute. Like you can, outside of being a mother, outside of being a wife, you weren't taught to enjoy that you should be happy. That's why I labeled this, my mom would never. Because we were never taught, I was never taught that I should be genuinely happy, which trickles down to the children. Because I was listening to a podcast and they said that, and it's going to make sense. They said that to determine a child's true happiness is from the wellness of the mother. If you have a mother who's depressed, if you have a mother who's anxious, if you have a mother that's a drug addict or alcoholic, that puts so much trauma into the child's life. Yes, it does if the father is, but normally the mother is the base. And if the base is super shaky and mentally unhealthy, that just sits on the kids. And that's the one that really messes up a child. The mother's well-being. If a child has a happy mother, they are genuinely happy kids. Oftentimes when you see a child that's unhappy, go look at the mama. Go look at the mama. I sent it to you. Go look at the mama. Yes, the daddy does matter, but if you have a happy mama and a sad daddy, usually a happy mama not going to be with a sad daddy, so she would have put him out the house. So he wouldn't be there bringing down the house. But usually when you have a mother that's unhappy, she's in the same household, hey, as the child. So the child sees the unhappy mother all the time, and that creates trauma and stress on the child. So when you go back, I want y'all to really think about the thing I just said. When you go back and you just go look at people right now, from now on, adults. When you see a person that's kind of messed up, start talking to them about their relationship with their mom. Start talking to them about things, their mom, and I'll let them just start talking. And I started noticing that. I was like, dang, that is so true. Usually the wellness of the child is directly related to the wellness of the mother. When you have an unhappy mother, when you have a drug addicted mother, a crack addicted mother, alcoholic mother, a mother who's on depressed, a mother who's got bad anxiety, that bleeds on the child so bad. And often as mothers, we think that we're supposed to be just superheroes. We're supposed to take it all and do it all, and we run ourselves ragged. We don't put our happiness first, when our happiness is what actually really matters in our children's lives. We think that working 2 jobs and scrambling, and they know I was there because I was going to work, but the child spends so much time alone. The mother's not really happy. You cannot work 2 goddamn jobs and be just happy raising a 6-year-old. That just cannot. I don't want to work 2 jobs. I want to work 2 jobs right now. So if you have a 6-year-old and 8-year-old and you're working 2 jobs, you're not happy. I don't care what they say. You could be acting like you just all of that, but that's all that time you're not spending with your children. That's all that time they're spending with other people. That's time. And one of the things that we cannot get back is time. Think about that. If we're struggling and we have to work multiple jobs, that's time away from our kids. That's time that we're not spending actually really happy, because who really wants to work 2 jobs that's just you bubbling over with joy and you just good? Let's go to the zoo. Y'all want to sit out by the pool? Who want to get on the slip and slide? Who want me to cut the water hose and y'all run through the water? An unhappy mother don't do stuff like that. Who want me to make y'all Halloween costumes? You know what? Let's go down to the zoo. They have a Halloween thing every Halloween. Now I'm gonna make y'all some costumes. I'm gonna buy you some costumes, and we're gonna go do that. Unhappy people don't do that with their children. They do not. You know what? Let's go down to Friendship Fountain downtown. They just redid it, and I want y'all to see the pretty lights, and I'm going to pack a picnic, and then we can sit out there by the fountain, and we'll watch the lights, and we'll just have a good time. Unhappy mothers don't do that. Unhappy mothers don't hug a child when they see a child, because it's not there. It's not even in them. You can't really just hug or love on a child when you don't really love yourself and you're not happy. So that's back to why I named this My Mom Would Never. It's because growing up, yes, my mom and daddy were together. They were married. I was in a 2-parent household. We were not the Cosbys. Wasn't bad, but we weren't the Cosbys. My mom, for a lot of times, was not really happy. And she spent so much time not happy that to this day, even though my dad is deceased, hey Juanita, even though my dad is deceased, my mom still don't really know what it is to be happy. He's deceased. She has a house, car, money in the bank, freedom, but she still really doesn't know what it is to even try to be happy. Denise said, I tried that. I remember I got a second job and my baby was like, Mommy, where you going? I said, I got to go to my second job. My baby cried so bad. I felt so bad. And I went to that second job that one day, I'm trying to get up. Oh, dang. That one day and didn't go back. Exactly. Because when you're working like that, it's hard to be happy. Now, that's another reason. Putting my plug in. Denise, God been blessing us for real, for real. God, great. That's another reason that I started Rising CEO Academy. Because I realized that many people, they want additional income. But their mindset thinks that additional income comes with working another job. Time is of limited supply. There's only 24 hours in a day. But what if I could assist you in starting up that business that using your gift can help you earn income? My gift was keeping a clean home. Think about that. I was working full time, and that's how I started my cleaning business. Simply because I had the gift of cleaning. I had a gift of cleaning. That's just what I did. I just did it naturally. Who knew that my gift would take me this far? The gift that God gave me of just knowing how to clean up good and sweeping and mopping and putting Comet in the tub and bleach and getting the cracks. That gift that's just so basic. So basic. Yielding me 6 figures plus. That basic gift. That's why I go with Rise. That gift, I haven't worked a job since 2016. I am a single black female. I do not have a husband. I've had one, but when I had my husband, I was not an entrepreneur. Hell, we got a divorce in 2010. I didn't start the company till late 2014. That's why I want you to do cleaning is like therapy for me. Yes, that's why I encourage you. Rising CEO Academy. Go to my bio on my Facebook page and click on the link. Click join. It's only $97 a month. Rising CEO Academy will help you use your gift and turn you into that person that can do entrepreneurship and show you how to accurately be an entrepreneur. You can be full-time, you can be part-time. You start part, then you can go full. But I was an underwriter at Bank of America when I left to do this particular gift. I left in 2016. It's damn near 2025. I don't have a job. I don't clock in. I have medical and dental benefits. If I can do this, anybody can. They just need help with how to get there. This has been the happiest times I have ever in my life. I have never been more at peace than I am now. I don't have a guaranteed income. Think about that. I work for myself. Well, when you're an entrepreneur, you don't have a guaranteed income. When I was at Bank of America, I had a guaranteed income. I'm more at peace. I'm more happy. I'm more self-sufficient. I am sitting in my apartment in the middle of the day. What time is it? At 1:11, when a lot of people sitting at work at a job they don't want to be at. If I can do this, anybody can. I had my daughters at 17 and 18. And I'm sitting up here talking to people about their happiness and about their wellness and how to keep your family happy and well and how to start your own business so you can do your own thing. The hardest part about it is you have to fully rely on yourself. We've been sold a lie so much that we think as grown people we can't rely on ourselves. We got to rely on somebody else to feed us. Think about that. We have been taught that the only way we can eat is if somebody else, we go to them and we help them work their dreams. That's a form of brainwashing that is idiotic. But we've never been taught self-reliance. Imagine being able to rely on yourself to get that income. Imagine being able to rely on yourself and you can say, hey, I'm going to take my kids to Disney World this weekend. You know what? I just want to take my babies to Chuck E. Cheese. Being able to get up and just go. It's a Thursday afternoon. I can call my granddaughter daddy and say, hey, you know what? I want to pick up from camp. And I want to take her to Chuck E. Cheese. I could do it. I don't have to say, okay, I'm going to wait till I get off at 5. And then I want to go on and take her. But I need to get in by this time. Because otherwise I'll be too tired. Because I need to be at these people's job at 8 in the morning. I can stay out at 3 in the morning if I want to. Not saying I'm going to keep my grandbaby out that late. But it's the fact that I have the freedom to lay in my bed and get up when I feel like it. That's something so far right field for some people that they can never think about that. I have the freedom to lay in my bed and get up when I feel like it. Work my whole schedule around how I feel. If I want to work today, if I don't want to work today. Like right now, I'm actually sitting here listening to the 48 Laws of Power. I've listened to the entire book. So now what I'm doing is I'm going back and I'm listening to it on YouTube while I'm working on things for Rising CEO Academy. So I'm organizing my curriculum for Rising CEO Academy. But while I'm organizing my curriculum, first of all, organizing your curriculum means that you're learning. So while I'm reading this curriculum and I'm thinking of things I'm going to talk about and different topics, and I have a list of different speakers who is going to come, I'm doing this and I'm listening to the 48 Laws of Power. So to become the entrepreneur, like I call it this, I say entrepreneurship is the biggest self-development program you will ever have. I don't have to sit here and listen to this stuff, but I read and I do this stuff so that I can help the next person who wants to become an entrepreneur. They don't have to go through all the stuff that I went through. They can skip and scale exponentially faster than I did because I had to go through all the steps and figure it out. Back in 2014 when I started, there were not really any, YouTube wasn't even that big. So you couldn't just go on YouTube or Google and say how to start a business. It wasn't really that big. I remember searching for an insurance company for my general liability because nothing was like that on Google. Now it's so much more information. So what I'm doing is mentorship catapults people. Like I take mentorships. I've taken mentorships. Rising CEO Academy is a mentorship program that helps entrepreneurs catapult. You don't have to go through all of those steps. The hardest thing, and it's only $97, the hardest thing for many entrepreneurs is, the new ones, is they don't want to spend any money on self-development. And because they don't spend any money on self-development, businesses, books, they don't spend any money on self-development, mentorships, and books. Often they always stay struggling. They never really grow. They have that one business and they hold on to it for dear life because they don't want to spend. And I know it's hard to spend it because you're using your own money. But once you realize when you don't do it, why you keep failing and going backwards, are never really gaining. And then most people aren't entrepreneurs. So you don't even have anybody to bounce with when it comes to your thoughts. Hey, Jennifer, you don't have anybody to bounce with when it comes to the thought process. when it comes to ideas. Let me tell you something. My girl, she does all my branding. Her and I were sitting at a little spot on Saturday. And I was talking about my Jeep. And I was like, well, I got an estimate for this amount to wrap the Jeep and blah, blah, blah. And she was like, why don't you just sticker it? I said, well, because my Jeep is teal. I said, well, I have to turn it black so it'll match the pink, the black and the pink. And she was like, well, you forgot about that other logo over there that's like teal, pink, and black. She knows my businesses better than I know my business. She knows my logos better than I know my logos. I totally forgot. I wasn't even thinking about this other logo that I use, this other color scheme and font that I use for another business. She said, how about you get a logo for that, for this business with those colors? Now what you can do is, instead of wrapping the Jeep and then stickering it, you can just sticker the Jeep. I was like, oh my God. This girl just saved me like $2,000. Just off that conversation, $2,000. But that's why it makes plenty of, it does. That's why with Rising CEO Academy, it's going to be a group of entrepreneurs on Zoom. I'm going to have lessons, and I'm going to have a monthly book that we're going to read and we're going to go over. But with those lessons, you get to listen to everybody else's questions and thoughts. When we listen to each other, we actually learn more. Many entrepreneurs are so busy working on their business that they don't realize the way that they think. They don't realize that their brain is their biggest commodity. Their mindset, their thought processes are their biggest commodity. And therefore, they always stay struggling. You get what I'm saying? In the entrepreneurship game, the way you think and what you think about and what you get exposed to is your biggest commodity on if you're going to be able to expand and grow, or if you're going to always stay super small. That's why I stress mentorships and reading books and listening to podcasts. If you are an entrepreneur or aspiring, or ever thought that you may want to be one, cut that radio and that TV off. I mean, the idiot box, not just TV. When you are at work, and if you have a job where you can actually just listen, subscribe to Audible. Go to YouTube. Listen to things that you can learn from. Music is cool, but you can't learn. You know every song out there. Meanwhile, they getting rich and you sitting up there typing, never growing. Listen to things that you can actually learn from. Start following people you can learn from. Start reading books. Like right now, this Sunday, I put out 3 books doing a YouTube live. I mean a Facebook live. My books were read Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Read The Brand Called You by Peter Montoya. And read The 5-Second Rule. And I can't think of that lady name for nothing right now. And it's on my phone. I know she's a white lady with black glasses. I had somebody, my friend Stephanie, she came up to me in the gym Tuesday and said, girl, I started reading The 5-Second Rule. I'm almost through. She started listening to it on Audible. I did the live on Monday. This was Tuesday. She was halfway through the book. If you want something, go out and get it. First question is, ask yourself what you really want. 85% of people walking around and really don't know exactly what they want. And they got kids and grandkids and brothers and sisters and uncles. If you don't know what you want, how you going to help somebody else get what they want? Some people say, I just want to be happy. That's so vague, and being that vague, you ain't going to never be happy. You don't even really know what happiness is. If you want to be happy, tell me what happiness means to you. And then go find and take the steps that are required for you to be happy. That's hard, because that may mean you need to get rid of some people in your life and you don't really want to. That may mean you need to get rid of some habits in your life that you really don't want to. That may mean you need to start reading and start learning, but you rather watch Bridgerton than actually watch Myron Golden or Jim Rohn on Netflix. So many people never divulge into what they actually really want, because they know in order to get there, it's going to take some changes within them. And they really don't want to change. They really don't want to grow. They really like being mediocre. There's nothing, I'm calling it this. They really like being average, which there's nothing wrong with being average. But average is just a C. Just making it and skating it. God said that we're all great, but everybody won't be great, because everybody won't do the things that it takes to be great. Like, I put a thing up there with Lil Duval yesterday. I put it last night. I shared it from Vermecia page. It said something like, all the great people are always on time. Like, I can't stand people who are always late. Usually people who are always late, I don't care what you do, you can lie to them and tell them the wrong time and they still get there late. Watch their lifestyle. They usually are not goal-oriented, and they're not truly happy. And then they make up excuses on why they're late. They make up excuses on why they're mediocre. They give their mediocrity an excuse to exist. God damn, I just said a word. They give their mediocrity an excuse to exist. And excuses, I just can't stand them. Like, if I do something wrong, I'm like, dang it, that was just wrong. I'm not going to make an excuse up why I did it wrong, because nobody really cares. It's just like, I realized that wasn't the right way. All right, well, let me figure out how I can do it right. Let me see who I can ask. But they give their mediocrity an excuse to exist. And when you give your mediocrity an excuse to exist, your whole life follows. And a lot of them not even mediocre. They don't own a house. They're struggling with a car. Their life is in shambles. They can't tell you what bill go well. They can't tell you the last time they actually did something for them that made them happy. Start watching people who are always late. To me, when people are always late, stuff's going to happen. The bridge going to go up, a car going to get in an accident, that kind of stuff. But people who are always late are very inconsiderate of other people. That's the part that irks me. You're inconsiderate of other people's time. And I value my time. I know time, you can get back money, you can get back things, but time will never come back. A late person is very inconsiderate and disrespectful of other people's time. What was that book? It was in a book that I read, but Tom Coughlin said it. And I instill it in my grandbaby. What it is? If you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. There you go. If you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. In Michael Strahan's book, when Tom Coughlin, what team he played for? New York Giants. See, I read Michael Strahan's book. I like Michael Strahan. I probably read that book in about 2016 or 17. Listen to it, actually. Still in my library. But when Tom Coughlin became the head coach of the New York Giants, what he did was, the first day, anybody that came to the meeting on time could not get in the meeting. And they were all pissed about it, because they were like, dang, I'm here on time. His motto was, if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. So when he first started with the Giants, remember he took them to the Super Bowl. When he first started with the Giants, that team could not stand him. Even him and Michael Strahan got into it. But with those rules and how it ended up working out, he ended up making that team great. That's how we should live. If you're early, you're on time. If you need to be somewhere at 8 o'clock, get there 7:50 at least. I like to get there 7:45, so that way at least I can find my parking way and get there and kind of figure myself out. If it's something that I totally don't know and I need to be there at 8, I try to be there by 7 o'clock, 7:15. So that way I can figure out parking. I can figure out if I need to go up the elevators, make a left or right, and I can get there. But that's me because that's how I live my life strategically. People who are late don't think about all those ifs, ands, or buts, those factors that could happen that could make you late. That's like on another line, we were talking about the grocery basket thing, syndrome. People who don't put their grocery baskets back in the corral, they just throw them off to the side. A lot of times you can tell a lot about a person by how they handle their grocery basket. Start looking at it from now on. Start looking at late people and start looking at people who do with their grocery baskets. And people who throw trash on the ground. That is my pet peeve. I was dating this guy that I really did like. You know, we give guys credit up front. We should just wait it. And that sucker threw some trash on the ground. And I picked it up. I was like, nah, I pick it up. Don't do that. He like, don't pick up that trash. Somebody else will get it. Little did I realize, hey Samuel, hey Will, hey Faith, little did I realize that was an omen showing me his whole life. He trashed his own life and hoped that other people pick it up. Hope that other people help him get out of it. When you don't live strategically, and then you want other people to help you out of that trashy ass life. So the trash you threw on the ground was and expected some unknown Oompa Loompa from the city of Jacksonville to appear out of the air and pick up your trash is exactly how you lived your life. You mess it up, and then you expect a fairy to come in and fix it. Somebody say, I'm a stickler about them grocery carts. Okay, me too. I'm like, but the only thing is now, Walmart, their parking lot is so big that their corrals will be far. And like if it's raining or it's really far, I will try to sit it somewhere neat. Not just push it and let it go and hit somebody's car. Because Walmart parking lot is huge and their corrals be far. So with that, if it's raining or it's really far, I just put it somewhere neat. But look at those people. Often we have subtle clues into how a person's life is. The grocery basket, the being on time, and then the grocery basket. Look at here, the grocery basket and the being on time. If you live by the motto, if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. And they always say black people late. No. The reason that they say black people are late, because remember they used to call us lazy. And so instead of saying black people lazy, they would say that black people are late. That was an easy way of calling us lazy. And then what we did was we conformed to that dumb shit. And we'll use it as an excuse. Black people are always late. When really what they're saying is black people are always lazy. So what I want you to do is give yourself permission to be happy. Give yourself permission to enjoy life. Go ask yourself, what do I want? And then start going through how you can make that happen. It's going to be one of the most difficult things you've ever done. But if you don't, you're going to end up living a mediocre life. If you don't, you, your kids, everybody will suffer for that. So that's my thing. Hey, Gigi. I just had to come in and say that. That's why I titled this My Mom Would Never. Because like my daughter is in Phoenix. Her daughter is down the street at camp. It didn't make me think twice to say, when she said, hey mom, you'll take her to camp, and then her dad gonna come get her from camp, and she gonna be the weekend over there, then he gonna bring her to the pool party on Sunday. I didn't think, why you going? You know this child here, you gonna leave your child, even though she with her daddy, you gonna leave your child so you can go do stuff? That's what my mom would have did. She would have made it seem like my happiness, like I was bad for trying to be happy, bad for trying to do something for me. And that's something I will never project onto my children. That they're bad for doing something that brings them memories and make them happy. Because with them doing that, they can trickle that over to their children. You get what I'm saying? And when your child sees you doing things and your child sees you're happy, they're more apt to be happy, and they're more apt to want to go do things because they mimic what they see. So if they see a parent going out of town, they see a parent happy, they see a parent working, they see a parent making their money, they see the parent paying the bills and doing things and being happy at the same time, they're more apt to do that. You get what I'm saying? You don't have to. Many people raise children that need therapy to recover from their childhood. Many women, men too, but a lot of times our children live with us. They raise children that need therapy to recover from their childhood. If that can be avoided and you can just actually raise a happy child, why not do it? If that can be avoided and you can just raise a child that's well, because wellness incorporates a lot. Why not do it? True. Say, Pastor, a lot of people won't do it because trying to be well requires that they seek self-therapy, requires that they make changes in their life that are difficult, and they just don't want to do them. It's easier, like just physically easier, to not do it, but you have a harder life. To me, it's better to just do it because it's more difficult, but your life is easier. If, this is what irks me. And only ghetto people say this though. Or hood, or just people who are disenfranchised. I don't want to call them disenfranchised. Low-level people, I guess I call it that. I ride for my child. I love my child. I do what I got to do for mine. You don't do enough to get off of stamps. You don't do enough to say, okay, I'm going to go to therapy and I'm going to seek therapy to get through these issues that I have. You don't do enough to say, hey, I'm going to read a book so that I can learn and become a better person, and so that my child will see me reading a book. Now, reading doesn't seem like something that's so far off when the teacher asks them to read a book and do a book report, because they're so used to seeing mom and daddy reading a book. You say you ride for your child, but you really don't. That's real talk. Do I really ride for my child, or do I just talk loud like an empty wagon? It's loud as hell, but there's nothing in it. I just talk loud so that people will think that I'm doing things versus just fucking doing the thing. Just do the thing. Do what it takes so that you can truly say, yes, I ride for mine. Black folk think therapy is wrong, and they do, and that's why they be messed up. And it's not. It's really, really not. And most black folks, they're not entrepreneurs. Most black folks working at a job, and they can go to therapy for free. Then they can get that therapist to say that they really need some time off. So now you can take FMLA. But we don't even know that we can take that kind of stuff and be off and get our mind together. Them other people take it all the time and be off and get their mind together. This slow connection thing keep popping up. Denise says they definitely don't believe in therapy. And the thing is, I do. I believe in it. I really do. But that might be why I'm happy. Well, I'm genuinely okay. You know, like I'll be honest, y'all. Today I ain't got so much y'all. When I'm looking around, I'm looking at my dry erase board. So if you see me like doing like this, I'm looking at my dry erase board, and I really don't have a lot to do. I can really kind of do anything I want to do right about now. Tini said, I do. I love my therapist. Exactly. I'm glad you do. And that's something maybe you need to, say. Sometimes we'll be doing something that does benefit us, but we may not say it to other people in fear of judgment of what they're going to think. And usually judge and hate only comes from the bottom. Anybody doing worse than you is always the one judging, so I don't give a damn what they think. I already know you could be richer than me, but if you judging me, you beneath me, so yeah, it don't even matter. But judging and hating only come from the bottom. It is what it is. And once we get past that, baby, you can skyrocket with your peace. And remember, I said further back in this live, I said the true determining factor on if a person, a child, is truly happy and is their well-being is the wellness of the mother. Remember this. If you have a happy mother, a comfortable mother, a mother who's secure in herself, and you have a crazy ass daddy, usually your mom and daddy ain't together, because otherwise he'll make her he'll make her crazy. Now both of them crazy. If you got a mama and your daddy done got on crack or something, your mama like Kevin Hart, you can't come past the second step. So she done with him. So now she genuinely happy because she ain't even dealing with that mess. But when you have a mother that's unhappy, that's anxious, that's depressed, that's on drugs, that makes a huge detrimental impact on a child's life. Because the mother is like the love, the foundation. And usually the children the children usually ended up living with the daddy if the mama messed up. But if you got a mama that's messed up and she'll hug you, you see your mama over there crying all the time. Hey, Charlie. You see your mama going through stuff. You see her with different dudes in and out, or you see her boyfriend beating her up. That messes a child up. So ladies, we really need to concentrate on our happiness and our well-being, because it actually matters to our children. When it matters to our children, that makes an impact on who they're going to date. That makes an impact on their children. If I'm messed up and then I have a child and my child messed up, that my child gonna raise a messed up child. So I done impacted 3 generations. Like Denise said, they feed off that energy. And Pastor said, now you preaching. That's 3 generations messed up. So imagine 3 happy generations. Imagine 3 well generations. I didn't say every day gonna be rainbows with pots of gold at the end. But when you are well, you know how to get through hard times better. And the thing is, when you're well, your mind is thinking better. And so you tend to think of plan A, B, C, D. Like I live on plans. I'm like, okay, I call it pivoting. And I think a lot of that's just for me being an entrepreneur. I pivot. If I see something not working, I say, okay, what I need to do to change this up? Because this one not working right here. And I pivot. And you can't be afraid to pivot. And I pivot so much sometimes that some of my friends like, yeah, you don't check. Yeah, girl, that wasn't working out. Why would I stay doing something that ain't working? Pastor say, this is why I left my small town and I joined the military. I changed my mindset. Yes, that'll do it. And it's my sister Tracy. I'm talking about how we pivot when stuff not doing right. You'll be working at a job that you freaking hate. And you might be able to go to the other side of town doing the same job, but for a better company. But you will still sit there and stay at that job. You won't even pivot. Or you might see that you're good at something. But this right here you're doing, and you're so used to doing it, even though you're good at this, you won't even trust yourself to pivot to see if you can be happy doing something else. We'll spend our whole damn life doing the same thing over and over and over and over. We fucking 50 years old doing the same thing we was doing at 25, the hamster wheel. Instead of saying, okay, if this is not working, let me see what was. Because like how I did it with the bank. The bank was working for a good while. Worked forever. And then I started feeling like, dang, something different. Something like I needed to change. I just didn't know what the change was. I didn't know that the change was entrepreneurship. But I knew that what I was doing, my time was up. And it's like if I kept doing that, I would be so miserable. I would be a whole different person right now if I was still working at Bank of America or any company just like it. Just imagine in 2014 if I was miserable at Bank of America and it's 2025 and I was still doing it. My hair wouldn't be black, it'd be gray. I would probably be wrinkled. I would probably be unhappy. I would probably be what people call a nasty bitch. Just because I'm unhappy. But there's nobody in charge of my happiness but me. Once I realize I'm in charge of my happiness, it's up to me to change it and pivot and find out what makes me tick. Even though it's going to make me have to learn and do something and grow because I don't know this thing over here. I'd probably be underwriting with my eyes closed right now. But I wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't be content. I wouldn't be comfortable. I'd be miserable. In life, when things happen, and if it's not for you, find out what's for you and pivot. But with that's why I encourage people. Read. I encourage people. Listen to podcasts. I encourage mentorships because this is where you get all of that knowledge and wisdom is from learning from other people. Now you feel more secure in your own decision-making processes. Trey said, yep, we are consistently working on our analyzation muscles and I'm sorry, y'all don't know why I got the thing so far back. I might need to get my readers. We are consistently working on our analyzation muscles, and since we do it so consistently, we do it constantly. So we can see when we need to pivot a lot sooner than most. Exactly. Trace is my sister, and we do most all our business together. And now we become so self-aware, and we actually trust ourselves more that we pivot faster than we used to. Pastor, overall, y'all are some good people in Jacksonville. I feel at home. Oh, thank you. Glad you feel at home in Duval. Like, y'all, let me turn this air back on. I turned it off because I was cold. Hold on. I'm getting a little hot. Sorry about that. And that's why many people won't do it. We'll have grown people who care more about fear than they care about their family. They'll say that they care about their family, but fear is the one who's actually king. False evidence appearing real actually is the king. The family is number 2. And we have to ask ourselves, is fear number 1 in our lives and keeps us from being and growing and doing what we really want to do? And if it is, go back to that 23rd Psalm. My favorite piece is, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, thou art with me. The shadow of death is just fear. He's saying, even though you're scared, I'm right here with you. You can't see me, you can't touch me, you can't smell me, but I'm right here with you. That's when we have to pull out our faith muscles, because we don't see God at all. We don't see him. I can't see him, but I know that he's there. So that's when I have to pull out my faith muscles and say, I know that God got me. And if I do fail, what's my lesson in the loss? Because he's not going to make it where you're going to win every single time. It's not going to happen. You don't, sorry y'all. You learn more in your losses than you do in your wins. So what he's going to do is he's going to see if you have faith. And then when you do have faith, what he's going to do is walk you through it. He's going to let you fall a little bit. And then when you fall, he's going to say, hey, he wants you to ask him, what's my lesson in this loss? Because that lesson in that loss will help you go up a little higher. So you learn more with your wins, with your losses than your wins. Because if you always win, you don't know what it really takes. Like, I go back to Sha'Carri. That girl lost bad in public. At least most of our losses are in private. Imagine losing. She was last. They downed that girl. They dogged her. They talked about her like a fucking dog. Imagine if your biggest loss in your life was public. The biggest loss you ever had in your whole life was public. We losing in private and we scared. We scared to lose even though it's private. So imagine had she succumbed to that big old loss. I'm sure that girl probably had damn Ayanna at her damn house to help her out because she lost big in public. Somebody probably had to pull her ass out of a coma. But when they did, she sat there and they probably went through, what is this showing you? What are you doing that you need to change? What do you need to add? Who do you need to remove? What do you need to do to get back focused? And she took charge and got back focused. Now she is the fastest woman in the world, and she was once dead last. That could be us with our lifestyle. We could be the best version of ourselves if we take the time to ask ourselves, okay, we face our fears and we walk on through them. Because I live in fear all the time. I be nervous about a whole bunch of stuff. I just fucking do it now. It just is what it is. I've learned to be nervous and just keep on going. All right, I'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? I'll be all right. Like my grandbaby, I say that all the time. And Tracy, remember, she was helping my grandbaby. She was helping my sister take her braids loose. And my sister and my grandbaby now 8 years old. My sister was like, ow. And my grandbaby hit in the head. She said, you'll be all right, and kept taking them loose. And then I realized she get that from me because I'll be all right. You'll be all right. But anyway, I learned to walk through my fear. Even though I'm scared, I just kind of go on with it. I try to prepare myself for certain things. Like, okay, I know I need to know this, and I'm this and this and this, but I won't let the fear keep me from moving. You get what I'm saying? And that's just what you have to ask yourself. Hey, which one is king? Fear or the good future? Which one is king? You get what I'm saying? Which one is it? Tracy Jackson said, I have to hit the reset button, but it's okay. It's a part of the process. It is a part of the process sometimes. And that's the thing. It's all a part of the process. You have some people that won't even get in the process. Or they'll start the process and they'll back out as soon as one thing goes left. They'll back up out of it. I guess it wasn't meant to be, Lord. You think God gonna make everything easy? If he made it easy, I'll be a millionaire. You have to hit those losses to develop in the person that's gonna take to do what you gotta do. Because this thing I'm doing, people think it should be so easy. It's not. It's not easy. I just learned to do it. People think stuff is so easy. It's not. You get what I'm saying? Go back to Sha'Carri. Just think what she had to do to get to be the fastest woman in the world from being dead ass last. Them 3 o'clock in the morning, she probably ain't want to get up. That super eating healthy, she probably didn't want to do. That going to the gym like that, she probably didn't feel like doing it all the time. Sometimes that girl is a young girl. She is youngin'. She probably want to go out with her friends sometimes. She can't do that. She probably got a little boyfriend. You want to have sex with him. You can't even do it because it pulls your stamina away. So you got to not even be with your little man. You want to go out and date with your man. You want to have you some drinks. Can't even go. Think about all the sacrifices she made to do that. And we ain't even doing nothing like that and won't make the sacrifices. Just lazy. Think about that. And we gonna fall, but we gonna, damn, that's not a song. We gonna fall, but we gonna get up. And then we just keep on going. And when we do that, that's what we're teaching our children. They watch us. If you don't do nothing, why would they? If you don't fucking read. If you don't take self-help. If you don't say, okay, we ain't gonna eat fried chicken every day. Why would they? We want our children to be better than us, but we don't show them how to do better. What Tracy say? Remember Tracy say, Tracy, you be like, how people like, my child made it against all odds. And Tracy be like, yeah, you the odd against them. Often our children, the odds are us. We make their life so damn hard that in order for them to succeed, we are the odd held against them. Like many of us, our decision making, we be like, the devil busy. No, the devil not that busy. You didn't make good decisions. God gives us the right to choose. We have the right to choose. He don't make us do anything. He gives us the right to choose. You make bad decisions. On top of bad, on top of bad, on top of bad, on top of bad. Now you're just a weapon formed against you. That ain't the devil. Don't put that on the devil. That's just your badass decision making. Tracy said, you are all odds your child fought against. Exactly. Think about that. We can be the odds against us. And I'm guaranteeing if I'm the odd against me and I'm doing it, I attract like, so I'll probably attract a man that's the same way. So now it's two people who not living their best life, trying to raise, hey Nene, trying to raise a child. And the child watching everything we do. Two big old negative impacts to this damn child life. Then we making bad decisions. You know what? Shoot, I'm going to go out, I'm going to buy me a bottle instead of paying my mortgage. Well, no, that's probably rent. Instead of paying my rent. I'm going to go and I'm going to get this rental car instead of saving up for a regular car. Things like that. That impacts our children. You know what? I'm going to wear some Jordans even though I ain't paid my car note. If I have a car. You get what I'm saying? You will see, go to the hood, see the best tennis shoes ever. But follow them back to their house. Now ask yourself, would you trade lives with them? Would you switch lives with that person? Think about that. Everybody in the hood got on J's and LeBrons and Dunks and all of that stuff. But then you ask, would you follow and go back to their house? And also taking advice from people who are doing worse than you. Sometimes we'll do stuff just because my mama said, hey Michelle, my mama said my mama did that. Not looking at it saying, damn, would you switch lives with your mama? You taking advice from your mama, but her advice was shit. My grandfather said we wear our bank accounts on our ass. We do. And we take advice that don't work. We'll take advice from people who it don't even work. I'm like, you telling me to do this, but it didn't work for you. Hey, like that New Year stuff. Greens for money. Black eyed peas for good luck. I remember them too. Put a penny in the window. Everybody did that, still poor. Dumbass advice that don't work. What greens gonna do? We've been eating greens all year. We should be rich as I don't know what. What black eyed peas? That's good luck. How about we just make better decisions? How How about we sit down and we listen to this YouTube podcast? How about we take this mentorship group so we can have better luck? And now it won't be called luck. It'll be called strategic living. We want good luck to fall on us. Like if somebody dropped $1 million on some of us right now, we'll fuck it up. We'll mess it up. Because we haven't become the person that can handle it. But we want the good luck to fall. Michelle said, I've stopped by things. I have stopped by things. I have never owned a pair of Jordans. I'm going to tell you now, y'all, I do have a couple pair. I had to make myself not, because I can see why people wear them. I ain't going to even lie. I probably have about 6 pairs. The first pair I bought, I'm telling you, that's about 3 years ago. I never bought Jordans. But I wanted to go to a concert. And I wanted to look cute. But I did not want to wear heels in the arena. I didn't want to wear heels from the parking lot to the seat, drink, all of that. So what I did was I bought a pair of J's. And we make Louis Vuitton family. We do. I bought a pair of J's. I said, okay, I wear this black cat suit, this little short little jacket, and these little high top Jordans. Y'all, when I tell you that thing was so cute that I had on, I was like, Tracy, I am trying my best not to become a sneakerhead. I can see how this can happen. Granted, this was 3 years ago, so I was about 46. And so I done got a couple more pairs since then, but I never had any growing up. Hold on, let me see. I'm going to show y'all a pair. So I ain't no hypocrite. Hold on. I'm coming. I ain't gonna lie to you. I wear them. Like this pair right here. Ain't that cute? Don't come for me. That is cute. I wore them one time. But these are the shoes I wear most of the time. My Avias. These are from Walmart. I wear these most of the time. Trey said we rationing our lives by bad behavior on what we feel we deserve to do. Do you deserve a new house when you didn't do the work for the new house? No, you don't deserve what you didn't do the work for. Hold on. No, you don't deserve what you didn't do the work, haven't done the work for. I deserve to live in a townhouse. I live now because that's what I have done the work for. Michelle say I have to go Shiro to make my real estate coin. Go make your money, girl. Don't have no shoes like me. Nene said I have something like that, but they are blue. So I'm not saying I don't have any, but I was grown before I bought them, and these are cute. I put on a black cat suit with a nice little jacket. Come on now, it was cute. It's cute. Don't get me started now. But I wear my Avias most of the time. But anyway, but then again, I do work for my stuff. So I can do some luxuries if I want to. I'm not going to luxury it out and go broke doing it. So I'm not saying we don't deserve to get some things that we actually like. What I'm saying is don't use instant gratification over long-term success. Me getting those shoes did not put me in a hole. It didn't do anything for me. I didn't compromise anything or anything like that. So that's what I'm basically saying is, often a lot of people compromise better living for clothing items, which is basically instant gratification over long-term success. So I say when I got a couple pair, nothing was compromised. And y'all, these are cute, aren't they? They are very cute. Even on the bottom. They're cute. And my girl Lip Boss, if you just buy a plain old pair that's on sale, she can paint them any color you want. Like I have a pair of black and pink ones, black and fuchsia, that's all bedazzled, that went to the Usher concert in Vegas. She can paint them any color you want. So you can buy an old typical pair, like anything on sale, and she'll paint it like you want to. My branding lady. House of Brands. Anyway, but those are just my thoughts on what I was thinking. And I want everybody to honestly give yourself permission to be happy. And don't. And that's why going back why I named this one, My Mom Would Never. Because the scenario, the thing that happened this morning would have never happened with my mom. It didn't occur to me to try to think negative on what my daughter did. Like she said, okay, Mom, I'm gonna get it together. She got it all together, everything. She said, I'll bring her in the morning and then I will go to the airport and will you take her to school? Take her to camp. I said, yeah. So she got here about 6 in the morning. Camille jumped in the bed. She said, where the economy lot? That's that lot that I pick y'all up from. Yep. She parked in the economy lot, caught the shuttle. Now she in Phoenix. It never occurred to me to make her even feel bad or anything. Because that's just not, you living your life. Going to do it. You're a great mother. You take care of all your bills. You run your salon. You do everything. You're not in my pocket. They don't be asking me for money. Ain't nobody trying to live with me or nothing. Like, I have 2 daughters. Ain't nobody trying to live with me or smooch off me or nothing. They're really good girls. They're good, productive adult members of society. So they deserve their happiness. But back in the day, if I would have done that, and you're going to bring them over here, earn the money, it would have been so much to be said for me just trying to do something that makes me happy. As if, because you're a mother, you don't deserve happiness. And Trace, I was telling them, I was like, now, remember when we was little, Mommy said the reason she don't go nowhere because she got all these kids. It's four of us, and we had a daddy. Come on. Now, she got a car, some money in the bank account, a house, everything, and she still don't go nowhere. So why traumatize your kids acting like it's their fault that that you didn't go and do what you want to do when it's really your own fault? And that's the end of the live, y'all. I'm gonna get me something to eat. I don't even know what time is it. 2:04. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and finish working on what I'm working on. I just wanted to stop for a minute and give those little words of wisdom. And remember, Rising CEO Academy is enrolling. Talk to you all later.